UFC Fight Night, Bonfim versus Brown is happening this Saturday. This is a really stinky card. I think it is so stinky that Lucas Tracy, he just quit again. Now, he said he's taking a break. He'll probably be back for 322. But if you've got Lucas Tracy quitting, man, because of this, it's bad, dude. It's bad, but we got to get through it. R.I.P. to Lucas Tracy. Hopefully he comes back. We're going to start from the top with the main event. I don't like starting from the bottom. Bonfim versus Brown. Who am I picking? I'm picking Randy Brown. Randy Brown's not the best fighter, not the most technical striker, but he's got power. He's one of these tall, black strikers like Adesanya, 6'3" at welterweight. He's Jamaican. Jamaicans, what do we know about Jamaicans when it comes to sports? They don't get tired. You look at all these races, like, I'm talking about races, not like a race like white or black. I'm talking about, Usain Bolt, like the Olympics, the races where they're running. It's always a Jamaican. When it's men and women, there's always like a Jamaican there, and they're fast as fuck. They don't get tired. Their gas tank is infinite. I'm not saying that this fight's going to go the distance all 5 rounds, but Gabriel Bonfim, his last performance against Wonderboy, it was shit. He would have lost that fight if Wonderboy's shin didn't split open. I know he would have lost that fight. The judges gave that to him just because all that blood and Wonderboy's leg pouring down everywhere. He looked tired. He looked sloppy. It just looked pathetic. He couldn't get the takedowns and control Wonderboy. And Wonderboy's smaller than Randy Brown. How am I going to think that this guy's going to control Randy Brown with those long-ass legs? He's going to keep getting back up. They're going to separate. Randy Brown with this long reach is going to keep jabbing this dude. And I think Bonfim's just going to give up against the cage. It's going to be a TKO finish. Round 3 TKO finish. I don't think it's going to go to decision, like I said. Plus, you see this 18-1 record? Don't let that record fool you. That's a trap, my friends. That is a big, fat bear trap. Randy Brown has had so many more fights in the UFC. 20 fights in the UFC. He's fought so many more high-caliber fighters. Whereas Bonfim, let's look at his past fights. He fought Anjay Lusa. He fought Trevin Giles. Chaos Williams. These are low-level fighters, man. Chaos Williams was proven to be a fraud against Andreas Gustafsson. He loses to Nicholas Dalby. You know who doesn't lose to Nicholas Dalby? Randy fucking Brown. He slumps Darby out cold. Nobody's ever done that to Dalby before. I'm going with Randy Brown, and that's final. I can't understand why he's an underdog, but hey, people want to lose their money. I think a lot of the bookies are just seeing this record and saying, oh, 18-1. He must be special. Nah, I'm going with Randy Brown. What the fuck is this co-main event? What are they doing? Matt Schnell in the co-main event. What are they doing? This is why Flukas Glazy quit. Because of this shit, this garbage. Versus Joseph Morales. I'm picking Joseph Morales. This is an easy pick. He fraud checks that Kazakh guy in the first round. Alibi Adiris. The parlay destroyer because of that fight. Alibi Adiris is like a minus 500 favorite for that fight. And I know Joseph Morales is the Ultimate Fighter, and he's been in the UFC before. But I'm just going to pick Morales over this. Matt Schnell, white American versus Mexican American. When we're thinking about the toughness levels, Mexican Americans are tougher than white Americans. Sorry, not sorry. It's just true, man. It's just true. Okay. Muslim Salikhov versus Uros Medic. I'm picking Uros Medic, and this is very, very tricky because I underestimated Muslim Salikhov against Carlos Leal, and he starches Carlos Leal out cold, slumps him bad. But Carlos Leal, if you rewatch that Rinat Fakhretdinov fight, he's always pushing forward. He's a low IQ dumbass with all those zits on his back because he's taking so much steroids, fucking up and rotting his brain. That was a good knockout from Muslim Salikhov, it was. But it was mostly because Leal is just a dumbass. Uros Medic, he likes to play it safe. I don't think he's going to walk into a knockout. And he's got the lighter man skill, I guess you could say, because he used to fight at lightweight. Minus 200 favorite for a reason. Why are they picking Uros Medic? 11-3. 22-5 is also good, though. But it's just the age. I know it's the year of the young, but after 40, when I'm thinking of like the year of the young is like late 30s, 37, 38, 39. But you're 41 years old. Age does have to catch up to you. I'm sorry, but it does. Not everybody can be Alexei Olenek. This isn't heavyweight. This isn't light heavyweight. This is welterweight. Age matters at welterweight. It just does. So I'm going with Uros Medic, but it wouldn't surprise me if Muslim Salikhov goes out there and knocks him out. But I think Medic is the safe pick, and a lot of people seem to agree. Ismail Bonfim versus Chris Padilla. Chris Padilla is 3-0 in the UFC on a decent win streak. Ismail Bonfim, I'm not feeling the Bonfim brothers. I know he's lost to good guys. He lost to BSD. Okay, BSD's a good fighter. He lost to, who's the other guy? Who else did he lose to? Nazim Sadikhov, the Azerbaijani guy who just fought at Baku, who's good. He's decent. But I can't pick Bonfim. I'm just going to go with Chris Padilla, also because of the melanin points. And also, and hear me out, okay? Let's imagine that this flag of Brazil right here, where Ismail Bonfim's name is, let's imagine that flag wasn't there. And you just had to look at this guy's face. You had to look at this guy, and you have to attribute to him a country. And it wasn't Brazil. What country would you pick? Who does he look like that he could belong to any other country? Not Germany. Not Russia. That's not what a Russian looks like. Not Australia. Not the East Asian countries. India. Okay? He is an Indian Brazilian. Indian Brazilians, as we have learned with Cerqueira, as we have learned with that guy that just fought last week, that fought Billy Elicana, whose name I forgot already, and Brenson Ribeiro, they get knocked out. Chris Padilla is going to come out with the BBC power, with those big, heavy hands. He's going to knock out Ismail Bonfim cold. You heard it here first. That's that. Next fight, Ricky Simón versus Raoni Barcelos. I think I picked Ricky Simón for this one. And it's hard, man, because Barcelos, he's on a 3-fight win streak. Cody Garbrandt, nobody cares. Peyton Talbot, fraud checks Peyton Talbot. But maybe because just Peyton Talbot's inexperienced, didn't expect a lot of grappling in that one. Ricky Simón, man, people forget. He beat Merab. He choked Merab out. And Merab just was waddling like a fish. He didn't know what was happening. I'm going with Ricky Simón, but it wouldn't surprise me if Raoni Barcelos edges this one out. It's bantamweight, and he's 38 and a half. Surely that has to matter. I'm going with the 33-year-old. Ricky Simón destroyed that Afghan dude. Jared Basharat knocked him out really badly. Marco Tulio versus Christian Leroy Duncan. This is hard. Marco Tulio is new to the UFC, but I'm going to pick him because he beat Yusri Belgouri in the Contender Series, and Yusri Belgouri, I think, is good, as we had just saw him destroy Azamat Bakoyev, who I think Azamat Bakoyev is also good himself. Christian Leroy Duncan loses to Armin Petrosyan. It's not a guy you want to lose to, okay? And the guys that he's beaten have been shitters. Gregory Rodriguez, he's good, and he survived RoboCop. Claudio Ribeiro, Dennis, Andrei Pulyaev, Eric Anders, these are bottom of the barrel guys that he's beaten. Marco Tulio could be a bottom of the barrel guy, but that Belgouri fight, I'm just going to stick with him, okay? Who else? Trescian Gore, Ihor Portiera. Same thing. Not good fighters that he has beaten, but you go to decision with Yusri Belgori, that says a lot to me. So we're going to go with this Tulio guy to win by unanimous decision. I don't think there's going to be a knockout. Unanimous decision against CLD. Jamal Emmers versus Hyder Emil. Hyder Emil is Filipino. I'm sorry to my Filipino viewers. I love you. I think Philippines is a great country, 100 million people. But a big country with 100 million people, you would think that there would be more fighters that are good besides Manny Pacquiao. I can't name any Filipinos besides Manny Pacquiao in combat sports that are decent, that are good, that are elite. They don't exist. Hyder Emil got knocked out by Delgado with the knee. And if I have to pick between a Filipino and a black guy when it comes to combat sports, I'm going to pick the black guy. I'm sorry, but I'm going with Jamal. Okay? I'm going with Jamal just because of the melanin points. The melanin points are going to come into effect. They're going to power up Jamal. I mean, his name is fucking Jamal. I'm sorry for the Hyder Emil stands, but we move on. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. We have a lesbian fight. Lesbian war at bantamweight. I'm going to go with Cavalcanti. Do you remember it was UFC 297? Strickland versus Duplessis, the co-main event. Bueno Silva versus Raquel Pennington. Wow. That shit stunk. That card stunk. That whole card. I hated that card. I'm not picking Mayra Bueno Silva. I'm not. I'm going to go with Cavalcanti. Again, both lesbians. I usually pick the lesbian to win, but I don't know. These women fights, you know how it is. But anyways, we have got the people's main event up next. Josh the Incredible Hawk Hockett versus Max Jimenez. Who the fuck is Max Jimenez, yeah? I'm looking at this guy. He's got vitiligo, if you look at his arms. He looks like a mixture between Mikazel Costa, Bilal Muhammad, and Tito Ortiz. If you mix those three guys' sperm together and you put them in a woman, that is what this genetic subhuman would end up looking like. Max Jimenez. I know nothing about him. 6-1. Maybe he's got like some good BJJ. I don't know. Josh Hockett already beat up one Brazilian bum in the Contender Series. He's going to beat up another. In his UFC debut, we will all bear witness to Josh Hockett. The title run starts now. 6-1, not the tallest guy. 230, not the biggest guy. He's good. He's in that good mid-range. He's got a little bit of flab. You would have to have some flab at that height for a heavyweight, at least. I believe in Josh Hockett, minus 400 favorite. Beat up this bum and say all the controversial shit you want to say when they give you the interview. Round 1 knockout for Josh Hockett. You heard it here first, folks. Teshia Pennington versus Denise Gomez. The Tiny Tornado. Strawweight fight. These are the small women. Now listen. Let me give you an expert crash course in lesbian politics and psychology. Okay, I took some classes in college about lesbian theoretical physics, so take it from me, the expert. When it comes to lesbian relationships, there is usually what is called the butch and the femme. The butch, as its name implies, takes the role of the more masculine position. Right? She is the one that is in charge, that guides the relationship. When it comes to the bedroom, she is the one that is on top, guiding the scissoring motions while the femme is on the bottom, acting like a true woman should. We're getting into some deep, profound intricacies here, okay? Hear me out. Teshia Pennington is not the butch. She is the femme. Okay? Raquel Pennington is the butch. I mean, just look at the size difference. Butches are usually bigger, more muscular, taller than their femme counterparts. But then I was looking at this, like Denise Gomez. I knew she was a lesbian, but I didn't do a lot of research beforehand. I thought maybe, Denise Gomez, she's probably got, a little femme of her own. But then I did some research and oh no, she's also a femme. We've never had this before. Femme versus femme. Who do you pick? Both are the submissive women in their respective relationships. Tough stuff, We're getting deep. We're going into some deep shit right now. Unlike Raquel and Carla Rosa, they don't really go that deep because, they are lacking in certain facilities. If you know what I'm talking about, they don't have to go deep. But we're going deep. As we have seen in previous women's fights, odds don't mean shit. Denise Gomez is minus 200. We saw with the Mizuki Amorim fight. Mizuki shocked the world. I'm gonna go with Teshia Pennington by decision. I don't know what it is. You would think the haircut would be enough to pick Denise, but I'm going with Teshia. Let's go, Teshia. Beat this bitch, Teshia. Like, I'm thinking too much. I'm going with Teshia. Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. You know what I said about Peruvians. But Miles Johns is just trash. Peruvians do win fights. Daniel Marcos has won fights. If I have to pick a Peruvian, I'm usually picking against them. But in this case, I can't afford for Daniel Marcos to lose. I'm picking Daniel Marcos. Peruano de Lima, Peru, puta de tu madre. Let's go, Marcos. Beat this bomb. And then, surprising, Dante Johnson's back. He just fought Cedric Dumas. He's back against Jackson McVeigh. Jackson McVeigh, untested bum, who they gave him Bruno Ferreira in his UFC debut. What the fuck were the matchmakers thinking? That was stupid. But I'm going to pick Dante Johnson. We don't have any odds for this fight. It was supposed to be Robert Valentine, but Valentine had a back injury apparently, so yeah. Austin Bashi was also supposed to be in this card. He was supposed to fight Jamal Emmers. Oh yeah, that's another reason why I'm picking Jamal Emmers. I completely forgot about that. It's because Hyder Mill, he wasn't supposed to be on this card, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I'm going with Jamal Emmers. And I'm going with Dante Johnson. I'm kind of hyped on Johnson. We'll see how far he makes it. Some people were saying that the Cedric Dumas fight was rigged. I'm not going to be thinking that. There's no way I can go into this thinking that every fight's rigged from now on. I think Cedric Dumas is just a dumbass. He just sucks. So yeah, stinky card. Let's just go through our picks one last time from the bottom. Dante Johnson. I think he's going to get it done. But they're two guys that are untested. I don't know about him taking this so short. I guess he didn't take any damage against Cedric Dumas. Jackson McVeigh, though, is a legit 6'4" guy. He's tall, big. But we believe in those big, powerful overhands. We're going with Marcos, even though I hate picking Peruvians. I'm going to go with Marcos, stick with Marcos. We're going to pick Teshia Pennington. Even though we probably should pick it. Should I pick Denise Gomez? Should I stop the trolling? There's no real reason why I'm picking Teshia Pennington. Like, I shouldn't. I'm just going to pick Gomez, actually. Because she is the favorite, and I know I was trolling. They're both femmes, they're both lesbians. Maybe we see some big scissor sweep action. No pun intended. Some Imanari rolls into scissor sweeps, into top position, into a triangle choke. I bet they would like that. I bet they would love that very much. But, fine, I'll go with Gomez, okay? Gomez, out of the two, does look more masculine, and she's got the haircut. We're going with Josh Hokett, the Hokinator. I believe in Hokett supremacy. We're going with Cavalcanti, 9-1 versus 10-5. Yeah, 9-1 is better than 10-5. We're going with Emmers, Jamal Emmers. because Hyder Mill's taking this on short-ish notice, I'm pretty sure. It's a pick'em fight. I think black fighters do beat Filipinos. If you're black, drop a like in the video because you know I'm right. We're going with, who's next? Marco Tulio, because he beat up Yusri Bulgari, who is a good striker in the Contender Series. Christian Leroy Duncan hasn't really faced any good guys. Marco Tulio's not good either. He's untested, but I think Yusri's good, and he did beat him. We're going to Ricky Simón. Ricky Simón beat Merab. Raoni Barcelos, yes, he's on a 3-fight win streak, but beating Cody Garbrandt, beating Peyton Talbot, Ricky Simón sent Farid Basharat to the Shadow Realm. We're picking Chris Padilla. We're going with Uros Medic. Morales, I think Morales is an easy pick. And Muslim Salikhov could knock out Uros Medic, but the age is just too much. And then we're going with Randy Brown, the people's main event. Just kidding. It's a shitty main event. Bonfim versus Brown. What the fuck? Those are our picks. 100% right edition. You heard it here first. We will be watching all of these fights. Well, maybe not all. I don't know when I'm going to start the stream. Probably in the Hokit fight. I do want to watch Hokit. But we'll probably start around Hokit Gomez. Just for the memes. See the Teshia Pennington. I don't know. That's all I got. Peace out. Subscribe to my channel, motherfuckers. I'll see you then.